Hey everybody, this is Cody and let's go do some stuff. So previously on my deck, we had a big hole about right here. It had rotted through, the decking had rotted, and then the entire thing fell in right here. So I come back, it's been some months ago, replaced the outer band on here, put new floor joists in it, and replaced the main band going down the center here and put supports in it. It was just this side of the porch that had rotted and fell apart, and also the handrail had about rotted off of it as well. So after coming in and replacing all that, and then also our steps had about rotted off as well, so I had to replace them as we came in here. So today we're going to be replacing the decking, so come along with me and let's get some stuff done. All right, I believe I got y'all set up there. First, I'm going to clean off the deck. I've got some old boards. I salvaged what I could from what we pulled up from what was rotting before. Got some new ones sitting right over here. So we're just gonna start running all the way across here and get this decking done first. I'm gonna be using some Deckmate, some 1 5/8" deck screws. All right, let's get started. So guys, whenever you're putting these decking boards down, there should be an old pattern that's already on your deck. Make sure to follow that pattern that's already been run on your deck so it all looks the same. Can't tell you how many times I come to do one of these decks and they don't run the pattern the same and it looks like it's one cut off piece all the way across. Don't do that. Break it up, make it look right, and make sure to follow the pattern of what you have. All right, let's get back at it. And remember, when you're cutting your boards, make sure to split them on the joist. You only want it to come halfway on the joist, that way you run the other one up to it. If you don't, you'll fall through when you step on it. More tips from Cody. You don't have to have the right size star bit, but it does help. By the way, anytime you cut when you're cutting 5/4 board and you put it down, saw both ends. Just lay your square up on the end. Hold on, I'll find a short piece and show you what it is I'm talking about. All right, so anytime you're cutting 5/4 board, imagine this is a full piece. All right, come in, take and square off your first, square it off first right here. Go ahead and mark it off close to the end and square it off, and then flip it over, pull your measurement on it and cut it. That way you square up both ends. If not, your joints won't match whenever they butt up together right there. So always make sure to cut both ends. All right, one row down, about 30 more. Let's get them. So kind of like right here. Now this wood, this wood's typically pretty warped. 5/4 board, you just get it in bundles, and it's still, some of it's going to be warped up pretty bad. So if you're having a hard time pulling it over, if you can't pull it over by hand and hold it and screw it, I always suggest getting a chisel. I just take a chisel, pull it over as much as I can, drive it down behind it, and then pry it the rest of the way. And it helps me hold it whenever I'm trying to screw it in. There's only one of you. If you only got one of you trying to do this here. All right. So let me show y'all how to cut around the post like this. First things first, you're gonna come up, you're gonna put this board in place. You already got it cut to length. Then you're gonna pull it all the way up against this board here. And you're gonna lay it up on it right here. All right. Then, mark back. Mark back. All right, now, what you wanna do, you're gonna come in and lay it up here and butt it up against the post here. And this right here will show you how far you need to cut back. Now that you've got your marks, grab the square here. So now you're gonna take your square, you're gonna draw back here, draw back here. We'll take a measure back. It's going to be about 3 3/8. I'm going to take and come back in here. I'm going to mark it at 3. Come back in here and mark it at 3 3/8. I'm going to give myself a little bit more room than that. Mark it again. 3 3/8. I'm gonna give myself about a 1/16 there. So just give myself a little bit of play room there. I'll just lay the top of my square across it like this right here. Draw it across. So because I measured it at 3 3/8, I'm gonna cut it at about 3 7/16. Just give myself a little bit of room there. All right, and then right there, so you mark that out. I'll cut this piece out here, throw it in. Check it out. Looks like I knew what I was doing. kinda. All right, so turns out, thought I had enough boards, but I didn't. So, give us just a second. Well, it's gonna be just a second for you. I gotta run into town. But give me a minute. Let me go grab some boards and we'll be right back. All right. All right. Pay no attention to the different shirt and how it looks like it's a lot more daylight out here. It's just an optical illusion. No, it's the next day. Decided after last night, after getting everything, that it was a little too late. We figured we'd just come back out here and start again tomorrow. But right here we got our wood. Let's get this thing wrapped up. Looks like we got all this done. We got it run all the way over to the edge. I'll move you right over here though, and let's see, I gotta replace, there's a hole right over in here where somebody's busting through. I'm gonna move you over here, I'm gonna tear that up and replace that right quick while we're working on the decking here. Check it out. All right, well, that's got that. So that's gonna be all for today. It's gonna be all for part one, actually. We gotta wrap some stuff up here. I got a few other things to do today. But the next time we should be putting the handrails around everything in part two. And so far we still have to put the handrails on. I still got to replace a few more boards. This is a 3-tier deck, so we go from here up to our main, up to our middle section here, which is the main, and then you got our main up top here. So next thing is going to be, we're going to put the handrail on, and we also have to replace all the rotten boards on the rest of the porch. I want to let this sit most of the way through the summer to dry out the wood, and then we'll try to stain it right before it starts getting cold again. So follow us for part two, where we come in and we finish up the rest of this. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you in the next one.